But also, let's draw attention to this. This shirt I found. This is Cafe's shirt, which is, I believe, a typo, unless it's a sort of weird, like they just translated it differently. But Cafe and Anju are the two characters from Majora's Mask that get married in Majora's Mask, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And I'm actually kind of shocked that there's a reference of just this such... It's kind of an obscure Majora's Mask reference, you know? It's like, if you talk about today, all the people that played Majora's Mask, it is one of the most significant quests in Majora's Mask. It is like the most involved side quest that you can do. And it's great, and I love it. But I'm like, will people recognize that? You know, I don't think they will, unless you've, like, you played Majora's Mask all the way through, and you, like, you know, were really into it. Otherwise, it's kind of like a niche thing, you know? You could have, like, a Majora's Mask shirt, which everybody would, like, understand the reference, but it's really interesting to me to see such an obscure reference, you know? It's like, now I play Breath of the Wild, I'll play, like, I'll play Breath of the Wild, and it's just like, you know, the references are super, like, on the nose, you know? They're not, like, anything you would have to be like a deep fan to know. It's like most people would recognize everything that's kind of in there. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I've seen Majora's Mask. Oh, the Fierce Deity. Oh, I've heard of that. Oh, the Ganondorf. I've heard of him. I was like, you don't even have to be a Zelda fan. You just have to, like, have seen something about Zelda on the internet at some point, and you, like, understand the reference. But that is definitely, like, for a fan. That's like a fan reference. And I love that stuff, man. That makes me feel good. I don't much care for the stuff that everybody's gonna recognize. Then it's not like a fan thing. It's not for the fans. It's for literally everybody to be like, ooh, I recognize that. Ooh, I've seen that before. You know, it's like a Family Guy reference where it's like the joke is that you recognize the thing. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's a Star Trek reference. I've never seen or watched Star Trek or have to understand anything about Star Trek at all to understand the reference, but the joke is just that it's recognizable as Star Trek. Gosh, I remember... I was watching, like, that's literally happened, because in high school, I remember we were watching Family Guy with, like, a friend. I was watching Family Guy with a friend, and they literally did that. They had a Family Guy reference. They referenced Star Trek. But it wasn't, like, it didn't have anything to do with understanding anything about Star Trek. It was just, like, the characters, and they were, like, and they did the overdone, like, William Shatner voice, where they're like, there's a ship full of aliens, and it's gonna attack us. You know, where he doesn't even really do that in this show. It's just like this weird meta joke that everybody does now. I blame mainstream media and television. They're the ones that started that stupid joke. It's not even that funny. He doesn't even really talk like that. He just talks like a normal guy. It's just, I think the way he enunciates things is he puts a lot of emphasis on, like, certain aspects, certain words. But, like, he doesn't have long pauses between his words. Look at this freaking monster of a fish. Is this another stringfish? What if? I'll catch it. I'm a master fisher. I don't know. Those references are so lazy. That's like where everybody does the same, like, Donald Trump voice, you know, when they make fun of Donald Trump. My name is Donald Trump, and I probably shouldn't do like a political reference, but you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, everybody does this same voice, and it's like, he doesn't even really sound like that, honestly. It's just like, The joke is that he talks weird, but it's so overdone that it's just not. It stops being funny after like the second or third time you see it. You know, you're like, oh yeah, okay. All right, I get it, but I'm not laughing. I think meme culture is kind of the same thing. Have you guys ever seen like? There's like a meme. You find a new meme and you're like, wow, this is really funny. This is really good. Oh man. There was one that I thought was hilarious, and it was like this image of like a weird looking Barney statue, like Barney the dinosaur, and it just says cha-cha real smooth. And like that's the image, and it's like I for some reason I found that hilarious, and I don't know why. It was just so stupid. Meaningless. It's just, I found it really funny. But then it was like, I remember that same day, I saw like 20 different jokes where the punchline was just that image. And it like, none of it had anything to do with the like actual image itself, which is, the image itself is funny to me. But then it's like a bunch of jokes that were just like, I asked, I don't know, I'm not good at making memes, but you know what I mean. Just like, then they use that as the punchline, cha-cha, real smooth. And it's like, oh, it's, you know, I laughed at the first few, and then I saw like 20 more, and I was like, okay, the joke was, it's already not funny anymore. It's already like I'm not laughing. Already I just want Reddit to shut up, and I want people to stop karma farming for, that's all they do. Like, you got one guy that comes up with an original joke and it's funny, and then a bunch of people that are like, I'm gonna take that and also make the same joke. And it's like, but you guys aren't funny, you know? It's like that guy that just like, I don't know, it's that guy, you know, all they do is like, they reference memes, and they've never made an original joke, but their like entire sense of humor is just like saying like a meme out loud and being like, oh, you guys remember this meme? And it's like, yeah. It's like, that's what I imagine all these people to be. It's just like people that don't really have like an actual sense of humor. They just regurgitate stuff they found funny on the internet, you know? And it's like, can't you like come up with like an original joke? You know, it's not that hard to like say something, you know, that's original and funny, but now people just I mean, that's what a lot of YouTube is now, isn't it? It's like, oh gosh, I can't even watch. There's some videos that are just obnoxious now, where it's like, all people do is just put a bunch of like weird sound effects and like meme references, and it's like, it's just like, yeah, I get it, but like, I don't know. I guess videos now expect you to kind of be ADHD. You're not gonna be able to watch unless they put a funny sound in, like that one sound that's just like, boom. I can't make the sound, obviously. It's like a loud sound. That like you said something weird and then they go boom. You hear that a lot. Now they have to like emphasize the jokes. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm kind of rambling now. I don't know. My thing is just that I respect original humor and original jokes and people like, you know, saying something that they came up with that is funny. Like, I like that. I don't just like references to something that I like have heard before, you know? Like, I've gotten tired of stuff within like a day. And then people will continue to reference it for like weeks, and it's like, ugh. God. Put me out of my misery. But this all stemmed from a discussion about video game references, I guess. The Majora's Mask reference is cool. See, that's a really satisfying reference because I don't expect like everybody and their mother is gonna get that reference, you know? I'm like, oh, I feel good that I understand. Like, that's cool. But like everybody recognizes the mask itself, so when I see the mask, that's, I guess it's a specific problem with Breath of the Wild though, is just like it's references, the payoff is so minimal. It's just like, hey, here's the thing that you recognize from other game. You remember the thing? And then it doesn't even really like do anything interesting, and a lot of them are like DLC. you know, you have to just pay for them, and then you find the box, and you're like, oh, I have this thing now, but it doesn't really do anything. Like, Majora's Mask, I think, makes you invisible to every enemy. And, I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, but, like, what does that have to do with the actual powers of Majora's Mask? It's not what it does. You know what does do that is the Stone Mask from Majora's Mask. Stone Mask would make you invisible to everything. But it's not the Stone Mask, it's Majora's Mask. But that's what it does, and it's like, it's the, you know. How am I supposed to appreciate it if it's not even gonna, like, reference the thing properly, you know? It's just gonna be a reference that's, like, wrong, and it's just, it just looks like the thing. I'll tell you, I'm getting real tired of these pond smelts. I'm kind of surprised I haven't found this stupid thing yet. It definitely should be around. It might, you know what it might be, though? Is because it's December. It might not show up until later in December. It might be one of those. It's kind of like it. If you look on the wiki for stuff like this, it's like, wait, that's not it, right? Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I don't know what makes the little guy so angry. After I was just about to go off. I was about to go off, man. And I was just gonna say, like, some of these things, if you go off the wiki, it just, like, specifies a month that it starts appearing. But it doesn't mean it appears the entire month. It could mean that it starts to appear slightly before that month, or it appears later in the month for the first time. So, you kind of, it's honestly better a lot of the time if you just go by, like, the second month instead of the first. But there we go, we got the Bitterling. I hope this wasn't a terrible rant. I'm sure some of the rants I've gone on are not super interesting. Bitterling, I believe, even run-of-the-mill common fish. Okay, it's just a common fish, except it took me that long to actually catch one. But that will do it. I'm gonna get a song tonight. And then we'll do. There's a sale on on the 12th, but you guys won't be there for any of it. Don't expect to be there for all of that stuff. You should know by now that you're not gonna be there for all of that stuff, unless something interesting happens, which it rarely does. I don't need to keep saying it, but. Yeah, all right. That's the 10th for, yeah. All right, no need to get excited just yet, but today is a special day. Today is Toy Day. No need to get excited yet, though. Toy Day is a special day, but it is not exactly the day that we are, you know, it's not the Jingle Day. It's basically just sort of its own little thing. All we're really gonna be doing today, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get it right out of the way, right from the get-go. We're gonna go talk to Tortimer and get something. I don't know what, but that's really all there is to Toy Day. So starting tomorrow, we'll have some actually interesting things to do. But as of just today. So this is it. I don't know what we actually get. Today, Sprout, is Toy Day. Yepper, Toy Day, the day when I give out toy. Okay, sorry. Can't do this. I have gum in my mouth. It's really hard to do that voice when I have gum in my mouth. Why, you ask? Because in my day, I never had many toys, so I'm trying to make the world a happier place. That's so nice. You get toys, but not me. I'm too old for toys nowadays, but you're not, so I'm gonna give you one. Thanks, bro. Consider it my way of congratulating you on your youth and vigor, Sprout. Just don't blame me if I forget to give you toys on your birthday, alrighty, Wes? So, this is just the calm before the storm. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day. I've looked up all the pertinent information that I'm gonna need for tomorrow. So I think we're all set to participate in. Not Christmas. It's not really named, actually. Toy Day is today, but tomorrow is when, I guess it's Christmas Eve. But it's when Jingle shows up, but it's not really a named holiday or anything. What did we get? A miniature car. That sounds cool. Let's see what it looks like. That's not it. Oh, look at that! It's like a Gracie car. Honestly, I could probably... It's got a weird base, so I don't think I can actually put it in my town. Well, that's weird. It, like, overlaps. I don't know. How do we feel about this? It's kind of odd, because it's definitely the Gracie car. So it kind of makes sense that it would, like, be in the town, but at the same time, I don't know why they gave it such a weird base. So it doesn't even actually, like, fit in the town. But that's it, really, for Toy Day. The big stuff, like I said, tomorrow. Okay? Oh, I thought that's what happened. I thought, honestly, I was like, maybe it was like a coincidence, but no, she actually did move. So Monique is the cat. She actually did move from this town to Glob. Okay, so that's interesting. So I was just reading on the internet. I decided to look up the thing for Toy Day. I was looking at it, and luckily I noticed some small little detail that I find rather interesting. And for that reason, we are now playing as Snooki yet again, for maybe the only other time we might actually play as her. For a very specific reason, because there's an interesting thing that can happen if we go talk to Tortimer on Toy Day as a girl instead of a guy. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna talk to this man. Today, Sprout, is Toy Day. Because in my day, I never had many toys. I'm trying to make the world a happier place. You get toys, but not me. I'm too old for toys. Youth and vigor. Alright. So, I'm going to go back to the house, and I'm going to show you. This should be something different. So, we got a miniature car in, as my main character, as me. But because we have a girl character, I can actually do this, which is actually pretty cool. And I only, just by pure chance, just by pure luck, I noticed this. Oh god. Oh god, we don't see cockroaches very often, do we? Oh my gosh. Well, that's an experience. The reason is I don't play as her every day. I only played as her the one time. So look at this. Unique item. And we only get this item because we are playing as a girl. So, turns out the boys get the miniature car on Toy Day, and girls get this little dolly, which I didn't know. But, I mean, maybe somebody that watched the video, or, you know, a couple minutes ago was like, wait a minute, I always got a doll on Toy Day. Well, so the question is, do we keep the doll here? I suppose it... Well, I suppose it makes sense to keep it here, but at the same time, I think... If I'm thinking about, you know, trying to get completion on the one character, on just me, then I would, like, giving myself that doll to have in my inventory at least would be useful, but we could keep it over here in this house. Well, gosh, that's really bothering me. I don't like the cockroaches. I'm debating. The only thing I can do, really, is just think to myself what I want to do here. I'm going to say I'm going to make a trip. I'm going to drop it off, and then on the next day, I think I'm going to bring it back. I think tomorrow. And I will keep it in her house as just kind of like a memento of, like, this is like her thing that she did. She's like becoming her own character. She has an arc now, you know. She's got her own little thing.